Hi, everybody. I'm Rainbow, and welcome to Dimensional Walking. Today, I thought I would talk to you about portals. There's two portals that opened up. One opened up in August, and another one opened up this month in September. The first one that opened up was Lions Gate Portal. It opened up 8/8/24. That opening um, was, or is, I guess it happens every year for spiritual growth, manifestation, and it's associated with power of change and transformation. So that one happened. And then one just recently happened on 9/9/24. And this one was called the energetic event. And this is for a time of for completion, transformation, and new beginnings. Now, the number eight as associated with the power of change and transformation. So maybe some stuff happened for you guys in August. Now, the number nine represents the end of a cycle and a time to release what no longer serves a person and making room for growth. So they both have something similar happening to them, but one is letting go. Another one is um, a transformation. And transformation to me always represents something with change and usually with letting go, releasing so that new things can come to you. So it's kind of like that eternal circle where you're able to get something because you let it go. And sometimes what we get back is 10 times better than what we had. So what I've been doing is just letting go of old ideas that I had. I'm letting go of uh, the not guilt. I don't want to say guilt, but I'm letting go of what I felt I should have done, but I didn't do. I'm allowing myself the freedom to just be me. I'm allowing myself a clean slate for all of that. So, what does it mean for I can't even talk today for portals to open? So, portals that are open are unusual for me because as a dimensional walker, I go in and out of portals all the time, and I realized something that I've not talked to you guys about. It's like, what's the difference between a portal that opens up in a dream versus portals that open up here in this reality, in this realm? And there's different aspects to portals, they're not all the same. Loki showed me, and Loki, who, for those of you who don't know, he's an Oregonian Sasquatch who communicated with me for quite a long while. And then he stopped because he said that I was too scattered. So, unfortunately, he probably was right. But I'm hoping to regain that relationship back. But he showed me what a portal was like in, he actually showed me, he took me, and it was extremely uncomfortable. And it was like being pulled in all directions. Um, it was like a rush beyond anything I've ever experienced, going so fast, the fast of uh, the speed, I should say, of not li not light. It's even faster. It's just like you're going really, really fast at a frequency that's so intense that you just don't know. There's no escaping it. It's just pulling you apart, and yet you're still able to kind of see what's going on around you. He took me in. I saw things that were twirling. I saw light fracture, like light coming in from all different directions. I saw how to go in, how to choose other places to go into, but it was his experience, not mine. It's not something that I don't think I could do as a human. It was something that he showed me that he does as a Sasquatch. So for me, it wasn't. Uh, it was not comfortable. It was scary, and I don't know if I could go in and come out of it sane as much as because he's a portal jumper. So he jumps into portals all the time. That's what they do. So the question of portals has been coming up quite a bit lately, and I've been thinking about it and I've been thinking about what I would say to you guys. And when when I do dimensional walking, I go in as energy. I don't go in with this body. And that's the big difference because in some portals you can actually walk in with your body. What I do, I don't. I go in as an energy source. And I think that that's a confusion that people have when portals are talked about. What type of portals are we talking about? Loki actually jumps in this realm, in this reality, and he jumps and is able to go through another portal to another location. There's natural portals on this planet and Skinwalker Ranch is a great example of that. And those have been here. That's just a frequency. That's just something that happened with the creation of the planet. That's just something that has been here. Now, whether aliens created it when the planet happened, what if they brought it with them, if they made it part of the planet, I don't know. And it's just something that I have always been told is natural and it's a part of the earth. There's many others. There's a portals in Taos, New Mexico. Gosh, there's portals all over the planet. The only ones that I'm going to tell you about are the ones that I've experienced myself. The one in Skinwalker Ranch, the one in Taos, New Mexico. There are unusual, I don't think they're man-made portals that are on the west side of Albuquerque. Um, and I think that depending on what type of topography and where it's located and all these different aspects of what's around these circumstances around certain locations that will dictate if it's natural or alien made or and I think we're probably at a point in human history where we can actually create portals ourselves as human beings. I think that we have the technology to do it and we've been doing it. That's what I call jump rooms. Jump rooms are created by Tesla technology. And I'm not talking about the Elon Musk type of technology. I'm talking about Tesla himself. And so I saw the portal that was created from the technology, from the what Tesla created. I experienced something very close to Los Alamos Labs. And so the portals that I've experienced, I think that that's why I'm saying that there's man-made, there's alien, and then there's natural. So, but where does the portals that open up in the dream sphere, where does that come in? And that's a question that I've thought about quite a bit, and I thought, well, how am I going to tell you guys about that? Well, like I said, I'm an energy source, and so I go through the portal as an energy source. But what's interesting is that there's different aspects to the type of portals that you go through as an energy source. I mean, you're kind of free. You have more freedom to do things, and it's a little bit scarier. Now, with these two portals that have opened up, I don't know if the portal realm opened up for the planet, over the planet. I'm not sure. But I know that my ability to do dimensional walking has escalated beyond the norm these past couple of months. Probably a lot of different reasonings for that, but maybe these two portals opening up are good examples of that. So, the one thing that I noticed and I wanted to share with you is that there's different aspects to going from location to location, from one realm to another. Now, people who dream can go out of one dream and go into another dream. And the one thing that I find interesting is when you do the dimensional walking, you can go back into, or you can try to go back into, or you have the mindset to go back into one place that you've been before. So how I realized that something unusual was happening was the fact that I was in a location and a woman recognized me. And that's what I find interesting about dimensional walking, why it's a little bit more different than that lucid dreaming. It's a little bit more, it's more of a interaction. You have a different type of interaction with someone. And so the woman had talked to me and she said, please stay here, and we will work with you. We'll talk with you. We'll talk about it and we'll be teaching you things. And we have a group here and we want you to be part of the group. And number one, I was taken aback by the fact that she knew who I was. And I realized I wasn't going to stay. That it's not something that I wanted to do. So I didn't. I went into another location. And in that location, I experienced a former dog that I had had. His name was Thunder. And I was in a location in a house that I had been before that I didn't like. And I thought, oh, heck no, I'm not. I don't want to be here. And I opened the door. Now, when I opened the door to look outside of this house, I felt the knob. I pulled the weight of the door. I could feel it opening. I could hear it creaking open. The dog was right by me. I could feel his fur. I could feel him rubbing up against my leg. And I looked outside and I realized I had been to that location before and I didn't like it. Something about it I just didn't like. Something was off. Even the light coming in through the windows, something wasn't quite right. So I closed the door and I refocused and then I left. Now, I noticed that when I go from location to location, I have to figure out, is that portal jumping? Am I going from one location to another? Am I going through one portal versus another? And what I realized is that in this particular instance, I I actually when I left, there's a difference between when you're just having a regular dream and you leave that dream and go into another one versus when you actually like I'm leaving and you actually move on out. And I think that comes from the ability just to be comfy within your own energy source, your own ability, and you can move from location to location. Is that opening portals? Is that portal jumping? Is it just, I don't know, like Carlos Castaneda? Is it you're moving your sandwich point to the point where you can go from dimension to dimension? So is it going parallel dimensions that are right next to each other? Are you just able to bounce from one to the other? I don't know. I'm trying to figure all that out. I'm just like everybody else trying to figure it out. But I realized that there have been some instances where I actually have, uh, I think, opened up portals and dreams, and it was just part of the process of of being able to learn that ability. And what I realized is that I have been doing this type of stuff since I was a child. So maybe what I don't think is scary, somebody might think is really scary. It's just a very strange ability that dreamers have. And I'm talking people who can go into dreams, remember everything in detail, people who can go and fixate on something, talk to themselves before they go to bed and say, "You're going to go find, you know, a pot that has a this specific design on it," and then you take yourself, you jump in the dream realm, and you go find that pot. I was in Morocco right when that earthquake hit. I believe it was last year. I think it was last year, early last year. So I was there. I talked to people. I experienced it. I knew it was going to happen, and so you have these experiences, and you have to try to figure out how to place them. You have to have a like this filing cabinet of, okay, well, what did I just experience, and what was it a part of? So the hard part at this point is the answers. The answers are really hard for me because I don't know what to tell you guys because I'm experiencing all of this stuff. But all I can do is just kind of say to you guys, that the one thing that I've learned, and I think it's really important to stress this to you, is that heart is where the home is. And I think we tend to think that that has to be with the house that we're in, the the planet that we're on, the city we live in, the family that's around us. But I truly believe that that saying, heart is where the home is. And I think that's in us. I think we are home. So I think we've been sold a bill of goods when it comes to thinking who we are and what we are. I truly believe that as a entity, a soul, that I don't just live here. I've lived in other dimension and other places. And so I have to take all of that experience of my soul growth into context, and I have to try to figure out how to make it make sense while I'm alive on this planet, living this life right at this very moment, talking to you. That's not easy because I'm trying to figure it all out as well. But one thing that I do know is because I know that I'm home, I'm and I know that source is in me, that God's in me. God's always with me, so I'm always home. And I think that's the one thing that I wanted to get across. There's a lot of people talking about going into the dream realm and having entities talk to them and having entities do really scary and creepy stuff to them. And I've had them do it to me too. I've encountered really demonic beings, and I've talked to you guys about it. But I think the one thing I wanted to get across today in this video is be comfortable with who you are and know that it's not that God's outside of you, that God's inside you, and the comfort and the safety net has always been inside of you. And I think we've been sold a bill of goods thinking that we have to look elsewhere for that safety. Safety is already, we are born in safety. I don't think that there's ever a point in time when we're not safe. It's just these experiences can be very scary and they can be hard to discuss to people who are already in fear or they block them or maybe they don't have the same experiences. Maybe not everybody is a extreme dreamer and someone who can go into the dream realm and do amazing things. There's out of body experiences. They have remote viewing. I don't think it's you can call anything any definition that you want. It's still kind of the same thing. It's just that what you focus on and do is different. And so for me, coordinates to a location, to finding something that somebody wants me to find, that's fine. But for me, as a scout, I like to go out and discover different realms. And that's what I want to do. And that's where I want to go. Um, so I'm at that point in my life right now where I'm willing to learn and grow and and to be a little bit more courageous in the dream realm so that I can kind of discover things and maybe come back with more answers than questions. But I wanted to tell you guys because I've been looking at some videos where people are having pretty intense experiences with their dreams and that are connected to their daily lives. I mean, some people will have dreams that have a relation to what happens, and these are called premonitions. They are called these type of people are called seers. They're able to see something that's going to happen in the future, and I think that a lot of what happens to us as spiritual beings is that there's a lot of we're getting a lot of help but we just don't know how to recognize that help. Like my sister, she has a beautiful angel named Epiphany that actually manifested in front of her and in front of me when we were in Jerome, Arizona. She actually messaged her, let her know that she needed to go look for a specific sculpture. That was a sculpture of her. She manifested and talked to my sister and I. That's how amazing this life is. And so it's not that I have to go into the dream world to find out how amazing these realms are. This planet is pretty amazing. This reality is pretty amazing. So let's figure it out together, but just understand one thing that the safety net was already built in you before you were born, because that's just the way it is. And if we understand that home is where the is within ourselves, then we're not going to be afraid and scared of what something can do to us. I think once we recognize who we are as a being and our rightful place in any location that we're at, then that gives us some a little potency there so that we can't be messed with as bad. I'm not saying that they're not going to try to do whatever. But what I'm saying is that, I'm at a point in my life to where I'm ready for more discoveries and more, I'm ready to go out there like Indiana Jones and discover whatever. Uh, but, I'm not going to be stupid about it. So as I figure stuff out, I will let you guys know. And if you guys know stuff, tell us in the comments. I mean, if you have something to share, share it with us. We want to know. I want to know if you've come up with some answers. So today's a little bit about portals. I just wanted to let you know my thoughts about this topic. And I hope you guys have a really good week. I guess we're coming up on gosh, Halloween. I like Halloween. I don't care what other people say. I don't believe in Satan. I don't believe what I mean is I know he's there, but I don't follow that religion or whatever you want to call it. I like the All Souls Day where you remember those people who passed away who are loved ones. I'm going to be remembering my mom and dad. So if I don't see you guys before Halloween, have a good Halloween. Um, I think we can all enjoy these different kinds of holidays without making them evil and making them something dark. I know they are. There's some aspects to it that are. And I know there's people who will take it to that dark arena. Let's bring light to everything that is dark. So you guys take care. Thank you for listening in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.